And one thing that I thought was incredibly interesting about Pendo is the rapid growth that they're seeing right now, and also the fact that they are widely recognized as one of the best places to work here in Raleigh. Very much reminded me of my ShareFile days, and I was super excited to have Larry come and speak to us, so give it up for Larry.
I appreciate that. Thank you, John. Where's my theme music? I don't get any intro theme music.
What do you like?
When I come to the plate, now you're talking about Larry. Good morning. How's everyone doing? Good. Talking to sales reps is one of the toughest things for me to do. Someone dropped $50. $50. Now that I have your attention, now we're good to go. So why am I here? You guys are looking at me like, what in the world is this guy doing? Why is he here? What's in it for me? Well, this will be a good meeting if you walk away with just one thing that'll help you in your career, help you in your day-to-day job. And what I'm going to talk about is really two things. I'm going to give you a quick background on my journey, my path to sales. And then the second thing I'm going to touch on is really what I look for when I'm interviewing, as well as that kind of parlays into the traits of successful salespeople, from my opinion. Don't take what I say as gospel. It's just my opinion, my 2 cents, which isn't even worth a nickel. But I've been selling since the age of 10. My sister, Tiffany Nicole Long, she was born at 10, and I was the only child. So essentially everyone wants to look at this baby, and they're like, oh, how great is the baby? And I'm over here like, what about me? So essentially I had to start tap dancing, telling jokes, doing a little dance, and really selling myself into, hey, I am somebody. Larry Long Jr., give me some attention. So at the age of 10, I started selling kind of internally to the family, to friends. At the age of 12, I started selling Lawns by Larry. I went door by door. My mom printed out some brochures. She said, get out there and make some money. Knocking door to door. Lawns by Larry, lawn care, miscellaneous lawn services. It was frightful. I don't know. Has anyone, show of hands, anyone gone door to door before? Yeah. Show of hands, anyone enjoy going door to door? I appreciate your honesty. It's frightening. My mom said, what's the worst that someone can say? No. Is it really that bad? Yes. I mean, let's keep it real. But essentially, I got out there, started knocking on doors, giving out my flyers, and then talking to people and just having communications, developing relationships, and that's when sales started. Now, at the age of 14, I'm now in middle school. I think high school, 14 years old. My sister's 2, and I got her, actually, no, she's 4, got her coming with me. Having a cute little baby girl with you as you go door to door, it certainly helps to open that door and start the conversations. I talked with a sales trainer before, Steve Noodleberg, and he told me, hey, Larry, the difference between contacts and contracts is the R. Does anyone know what that R stands for?
Repetitiveness.
Relationships. You were close. Let's give a round of applause. I appreciate you trying. There it goes. I come bearing gifts. I certainly appreciate it. You got to rock those Pendo Pink socks. You know, I don't leave home without them. You got to practice what you preach. But it's relationships. You got to build those relationships. So I've learned really at an early age about developing and building those relationships to take those contacts and turn them into contracts. So you might be wondering, hey, Larry, where have you been? You can look at my LinkedIn and see my journey, but in a nutshell, I started off playing baseball at University of Maryland. Go Terps. Go Terps. Okay. Got some love out here in the Wolfpack Nation. You got the Blue Devils. You got the Tar Heels. So, sorry about your luck. I played baseball at University of Maryland. I went to spring training in 2001. Didn't quite work out for me. So I started my career at a company called Accenture doing IT consulting. 3 years in, I said, hey, this is fun, this is good money, but I don't really get fulfilled. I don't enjoy going into work. It's just not fulfilling. So I ended up moving down here to Raleigh to open up an indoor baseball softball academy, and that's my passion. My passion is helping out people, and especially kids, to improve not just on the field, but more importantly, off the field. 99.9% of athletes will never get paid to play the game. But 100% of us have to go out in the real world and find a job and look for success in that career. That's where my passion lies. After a year and a half, had to close my doors. And I said, hey, if I can't help kids with baseball and softball, let me help professionals become the best sales professionals, the best people that they can possibly be. And that's kind of been my journey. After I closed the academy, I went to a company called SageWorks, started off as an individual contributor, making 150 calls a day to accountants. I think some of y'all in here call on CPAs and accountants.
Oh, yeah.
It's tough, but there's nothing more rewarding when you can help someone help their clients, help their business, help their family. And that's really where I get a lot of energy, I get a lot of passion. It's really from working with folks like you who are about it. I mean, I can tell by your mission that you have a passion for helping others. And by helping others, you're also able to help yourself, take care of your families, achieve some of the goals that you want to accomplish. So my path, I was looking at it last night. I've had 9 different stops. I've owned my own business, worked for publicly traded companies, worked for small companies. Little known fact, I used to drive Uber and Lyft, so I don't know if I've had anyone in my ride before, but definitely grinding, hustling, and that's what actually led me to Pendo. It's a long story. I'll share with you after this, off-site. But that's how I really ended up at Pendo, just through those connections that some folks that I'd met connected me with some folks at Pendo, and that's what led to here. So that's kind of my journey. Let me get into the second part, which is what I look for when I'm interviewing folks. So I interview folks almost on a daily basis. We're looking to grow 3x, 4x, 5. We're looking to grow pretty fast. There's really 4 major components of things that I look for in a candidate. And it's not just for sales. I mean, it's sales, but also life. The number one thing is that entrepreneurial spirit. I know that you guys all get a paycheck from REVGEN. I get a paycheck from Pendo. But I look at this as it's my own business. If I don't produce, if I don't have success and put up numbers, I see you guys have a board. If I don't put up numbers, I don't eat. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I don't miss a meal. I'm going to make sure I eat. I do what I need to do to eat. And for my team, I need folks that have that same mindset. That mindset that, hey, I'm going to own this. I'm going to take ownership, and I'm going to have accountability for my results and do what I need to do. The second part is that internal drive and desire. It starts right here with your heart. It starts right here with your mindset in terms of we all get hit with obstacles, whether it's sales here in the office, whether it's our personal life. You're going to get it. If you don't get hit with some obstacles, you're not living life. What do you do when you get hit with those obstacles? I know for me on my team, I want people that are going to go around those obstacles, go over those obstacles, go under those obstacles, and if they need to, go right through those obstacles. If you want to roll on my team, you got to make sure that you have that Fido spirit. Now, some people might say, what does Fido mean? Well, it's not the name of my dog. I see Gus, the wonder dog over there. I'm still looking for that golden receiver I think I saw on the video. But essentially, my dog's name is Shaq. He's a little 4-pound Pomeranian. I'm afraid of dogs. You guys don't know this, but I'm sweating up a storm because I've had a couple bad run-ins with big dogs. But essentially, that Fido spirit. I see HR is in the house. We'll keep it PC. It stands for forget about it, drive on. When you get hit with obstacles, you got to forget about it and drive on, if you know what I mean. That's what I'm looking for. The third part is preparation. You got to be prepared for every situation. It's unbelievable how many interviews I have where folks don't come with a pen and a pad. You're not taking any notes. What questions can I answer for you? You don't have any questions? Are you really evaluating us like we're evaluating you? Are you really prepared to have success in your career, in your day, in your life? You got to think about that. The fourth thing that I look for is really communication. So in sales, it's about communicating, both verbally, what you say, as well as how you say it. For anyone who has dogs, for me, I can tell my dog Shaq. I can say, hey, Shaq, you're the worst dog in the world. And he's just shaking his little behind. He's like, oh, wow, he loves me. Or I can say, hey, Shaq, you're the best dog in the world. And he's like, oh, goodness, what did I do? It's not what I'm saying, but it's how I'm saying that, how I'm communicating. So both my verbal communication as well as written communication is so important. Those are really the 4 major pillars of what I look for in candidates. Then there's a lot of intangibles, that mental toughness. I had a baseball coach who said, you guys are mental midgets. I don't want to offend anybody, but hey, you guys don't have that mental toughness to overcome. In the game of baseball, if you're a 70% failure, think about this. 70% failure, you're going to the Hall of Fame. 70% failure. If I strike out 7 out of 10 times, I'm doing something right. Well, that's sales and that's life. I wish that my reps right now were 70% failures. We're We're a lot more than 70% failures, but we're still having success. How do you brush yourself off when you strike out and have that mindset, that positive attitude to get back after it, after a bad call, after a bad experience? It's tough. Life is tough. Sales is tough. We call it the grind. It's the sales grind. So as I close in closing, I talked about mindset. When I was at University of Maryland, we had a group called Team Maryland. And we would go out to elementary, middle, high school students. And our motto was, only you can make it happen. And I'm a big believer that only you can make it happen. Now, I know we got a lot of ACC fans in here. I hear it all the time. Well, I hope, I wish. Hope isn't a strategy, and I don't believe in hope. I don't believe in wishing. I believe in only you can make it happen. So instead of saying I hope, I wish, what do I want you guys to say?
I will.
What do I want you to say?
I will.
I appreciate your time today. It was a pleasure speaking with you. I'm going to open up the floor to any questions. Hopefully, what was my goal starting off with? Someone help me out. What was my goal? This would be a good meeting if?
We leave here
With one thing.
With one thing. That's I set my sights. Set my standards pretty high. One thing that you walk away from this conversation. Any questions?
Can you talk about the daily schedule for the Pendo Associate?
Yeah. So we're driving for demo set. Our reps, the expectation is 30 demo set per month, which is 8 per week, get you to 32. I love overachievement. How do we do that? Well, it's through our activities. And you guys are probably going to laugh because I know you guys are getting it in here. But our expectation is 75 phone calls a week. You guys can do the math, 15 a day, 300 emails per week, 10 social media messages per week. That's LinkedIn, that's Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, by hook or by crook, and then 25 net new prospects added to our pipeline every week. That's kind of how we roll.
What are you booking demos for?
For
What
account
is your
executives.
Okay, okay. You didn't know what your product is.
Oh, our product is a product for product success. So essentially it's analytics as well as in-app guides. So essentially when you log into a product, we help companies understand what do you do once you log in. And then once they understand that, we allow them the ability to influence and guide your behavior.
That was my question.
Okay.
He stole my question.
Gotcha. And I apologize. I should have introduced myself to start off with. I'm Larry Long Jr. I'm the Director of Business Development at Pendo. My team, they pretty much call me Coach. I'm probably most proud of, they put here Coach Long, Team Fido. What you talking about, Willis? These are just some one-liners that I use, inside jokes by hook or by crook. But that's what I'm most proud of, is really being a coach, being a mentor, being a trusted advisor to my team. That's where I get a lot of energy when I see my reps. I just had 3 reps. One actually is a REVGEN alum who moved up June 1st to account executive. So he was doing lead gen, made that bump up to account executive. I had 2 reps move up in February. As you can see, I'm a baseball player by trade. And I look at my team as really little leaguers. And my job is to develop them into minor leaguers, kind of like the Durham Bulls, AA, AAA. And my goal is to help them get to the big leagues, and not just get to the big leagues. It's great to get to the big leagues, but I want big league all-stars. I want people who move up to account executive and they're crushing their numbers. We do keep score, which is why I love sales. Essentially, I can look at the scoreboard, and tell whether I'm doing a great job or whether there's room for improvement. So, excellent question.
How long has Pendo been around?
2013. I've been there for about a year. Let me ask you all a real quick question. How do you define sales? If a Martian came down and said, "Oh, hey, Earthling, this thing called sales, I've never heard of it. What is it?" What do you say to them? Don't all speak at once.
It helps folks out.
Okay, I like that. It helps folks out.
Influencing individuals.
Okay, I like that.
Transfer of enthusiasm.
I like that. Transfer of enthusiasm, transfer of energy.
Mutually beneficial.
What's that?
Mutually beneficial.
Mutually beneficial. I like
That's
that.
a good one.
Yeah, I love the diversity. What else? How would you define? You didn't know the values, but how would you define sales?
I think I would define it as, for me, it's an opportunity to help somebody achieve something that they need or desire.
Okay, I like that. Let's give it up. I like that. The way that I would define, and these are all great definitions, and this is just my 2 cents. The way that I define sales is matching. It's really playing a matchmaker. It's matching your products and or services with someone else's needs, their wants, their desires, their challenges. Essentially, if I can make a match, we've got a sale. If I'm able to match my products, my services with your needs, wants, desires, challenges, we're probably going to be in business.
How many employees do you have?
That's a great question. We just hit 100 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I started off middle of April last year. April 18th was my start date. I was employee number 40. And I think right now our official count is at 105. We're targeting 160 by the end of this year. So
Okay.
you talk about phenomenal growth.
It's like bigger and bigger.
Yeah, our goals this year is to triple our revenues. So there's a lot of pressure on top of funnel. My team is essentially the hub. When you think about sales and you think about business, if you don't have a big pipe, good luck. What are you? If I come to the plate and there's no ball there, I have no chance to hit a home run. If I come to the plate and there's a wiffle ball there, I don't care if I'm Babe Ruth, I'm still not going to be able to hit a home run. But if I come and there's a big, giant, green, yellow softball, boom, it's out of here.
How do you keep your employees motivated?
That's a great question. It's a big challenge. And really, I'll be honest with you, I have a lot of energy myself, but that comes from within. I can't give you motivation. You've got to find what motivates you. So really what I try to do is understand what motivates each and every one of my reps. What are you trying to accomplish? What are your goals? And then I have everyone, I'm not sure, do you guys have business plans? It's okay if you don't. You guys have business plans, professional business plans, in terms of where your career is going? Okay. Write a business plan. Where do you want to go? And then what's the path that you plan on taking? Now, that's not going to be the exact plan. But essentially, you now have at least a model, at least something to follow. All my reps put together their business plans, and I'm going to be honest with you, I know what happens. We review them every quarter, and then they go right in that file cabinet, just collecting dust. Well, if you have a compass, if I'm trying to sail from New York to Africa, and I have a compass that I just keep in the compartment, chances are I'm going to end up in the North Pole chilling with Santa Claus. I'm not going to get to my destination, but if I have that compass and I'm using it to direct where I'm going, I at least have a chance. That doesn't guarantee that I'm going to get there, but I at least give myself a chance, which is, that's all I want. I am a gambler. I was at the casino in Maryland this weekend. I want the odds in my favor. And I know that having out a written business plan with detailed, I think they call them SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound, I at least give myself the best chance at success.
What's the average length, the average sales cycle?
Yeah, for us on the, I guess you could say for our non-enterprise, we're looking at just over 3 months. We do a 30-day trial. So we do a demo. The next step is to get them to install our snippet of code. Essentially, it's really technical. We want them to install our snippet of code in their development environment on their product and test this out for 30 days. And then at that point, it's either thumbs up, let's go, or thumbs down. There's negotiation in between, but we're looking at really a 3-month sales cycle on average.
So as Rosar alluded to a couple times, what makes y'all's place so great to work at?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say it starts with our core values. Make sure you understand your core values. I know mine. I don't have any money. I got that $50 that I found. Thank you to whoever you had. I saw you out in the parking lot jamming this morning, so I appreciate that. But I don't leave home without my moneymaker. This is my numbers. I'm driven by my numbers. This is months and months of my team's numbers. You can hold on to it. Yeah, demo set every day. So essentially the question was, what makes us so great? It's really a combination. Does anyone watch The Prophet, Marcus Lemonis?
Yes.
What are the 3 Ps? What are his 3 Ps?
People, process, and product.
Now you're talking. So we have an excellent product. Our product works. It adds value to businesses. The people that we work with, there's good people everywhere. Like I said, I've had 9 stops. Everywhere that I've worked has good people. I would say at Pendo we have some very great people, and our leadership team is awesome. You guys are actually lucky and blessed to have John leading the ship here. Make sure you learn. Make sure you learn and grow. So I'll give you our 5 core values. Number 1 is hit numbers. That's why I'm in sales. I like to keep score. When I go home to my wife and she says, how was your day? I can tell her. I can say, hey, thumbs up. Or, it was a rough day. Let's get back after it, dust ourselves off. Number 2 is grow and learn. Are you growing and learning? Not just for the set trainings. We do trainings every Tuesday, every Thursday, every Friday, which is great. But what do you do outside of those trainings? It's kind of like the kids I work with, and they come to me one time a week. They're like, Coach Larry, I'm not getting any better. Well, hey, you have a tee at home, but it's collecting dust. When was the last time you actually worked on those reps? Remember that you're sales professionals. This is your profession. It's kind of like being a professional basketball player, baseball player, golfer. This is your profession. What do you do outside of the normal hours to excel, to take yourself to the next level, grow and learn? Number 3 is work as a team. For me, I tell my BDR team, we're a team. We've got to work together and help each other, but we also have territories. The sales org works closely with marketing. Sales works closely with the entire organization, working as a team. We all have one goal. Even though we're responsible for the number, our engineers, they have that number as well. The 4th one is be exceptional. What does exceptional mean? I don't know what Webster says. I don't know the Webster's definition. But when I think of exceptional, it's greater than average. I think T.I. has a song that says, don't want no mediocre. I don't want no mediocre. If I'm going to wake up and go to something that's mediocre, I might as well just stay my butt at home next to my beautiful wife. My wife's from Argentina. I think she's tuned in on Facebook Live. Hey, baby, I love you. Okay, yeah, I gotta get those points. I gotta get those points when I can. And my kids are out on summer break. What's up, Trey? What's up, Lucia? I got a 7-year-old son. He's going to the drive, chip, and putt tomorrow over at Chapel Hill. Hopefully he writes my ticket over to Augusta. I got a beautiful 3-year-old daughter. But essentially working as a team, being exceptional. And then the last one is have fun. You guys probably don't know me that well, but I like to have fun. If I'm not having fun, what's the point? What am I doing? And for me, if I'm doing number 1, 2, 3, and 4, I'm going to be having a whole lot of fun. Because I'll tell you, I was sharing with you earlier, I'm going to Italy to play golf in October. My wife is about to take a cruise to Cuba. Went to Dublin, Ireland 2 years ago, played Bay Hill in Orlando. I like to golf. I like to travel. My wife is a professional shopper. Sorry, baby, I had to put that out there, but she's probably shopping on Amazon right now. But I like to do things, and essentially, by having success and having that internal motivation, I'm now able to accomplish those things that I set out to accomplish, both professionally as well as personally, and taking care of my family and taking care of myself. Great question. Great question. What else?
So a while ago we spoke, and you said something really great. To go back to the Pendo product, exactly what it is for everyone to understand. Is it in your supermarket?
Yeah. You've got a great memory right there. Wow, you're bringing it back. So essentially, if you own a supermarket, when people walk through your door, as the owner of that supermarket, you want to know, what aisles do they go down? Do they go down aisle number 4 and then aisle number 8? And then why? Well, essentially, all my highest margin items, my highest value items for both them and for me are in aisle number 2. Well, how do I direct them to aisle 2 instead of aisle 4 and then aisle 8? Well, maybe I put a neon sign when they come through the door that says, hey, best deals today in aisle number 2. And then when they get through aisle number 2, maybe I have a kiosk that says, how was your experience going down aisle number 2? On a scale of 1 to 10, what was it? And essentially, I think they call that net promoter score. 9 to 10 are promoters. Anything under a 7 is a detractor, and then the passives are 7 and 8 are passives, and then anything 6 and under are detractors. That's what our solution does. Essentially, when people walk through the doors of the grocery store, that's logging in with the username and password into your product. When people log into your product, what's their experience? What do they do and why? And then how can you influence and guide and direct their behavior so that they get the most value and you get the most value as well? When you think about B2B SaaS products, every 12 months, there's a decision to be made. Am I going to stick with it and continue to invest in that solution, or am I going to take my business elsewhere? As a product owner and as a business, you want to have a tight pulse in terms of what your user's experience is, and you want to have as much control as possible to make sure you provide them with the best daggone experience that they can have within your product. I appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, I love a grocery store. Like I said, I don't like to shop. I don't know how to cook, but I sure as heck know how to eat. Any other questions? Don't be bashful.
All right, guys. At this point, what we can do is grab another cup of fuel and mingle, and you can talk to Larry a little bit more. I would absolutely recommend that you guys connect with him on LinkedIn, or shoot him a message, or put a comment on LinkedIn for the talk that we had today. But let's thank Larry, and then we'll mingle for a bit.
Thank you.